Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Outcast Season 2, Episode 5. It's called The Common Good. Full spoilers for the episode as always. First things first, this episode was directed by Ty West. Are you familiar with Ty West?
I am, and I caught the name during the credits. I was like, oh, we've got another big name director attached to this.
Yeah, Ty West, of course, directed The Innkeepers, directed House of the Devil, some interesting stuff. I like his movies, and so I actually thought the direction of this one was quite good. So it was. I didn't actually notice his name at the start, so it was I said, "Oh, that direction that was quite good," and then I looked at the
Uh,
credits and I'm like, "Oh, it's Ty West. Oh,
I,
that's
I
up."
typically don't pay that much attention during the opening credits. I tend to just, they're the same every week. That said, I happened to, for some reason, pay attention on this episode, and I was like, are those images different to what they were before? Or has it just been that long since I've paid attention
Nah,
that,
they've been the
that they just
same.
look new?
Yeah, they've been the same
Well,
for a while.
there we go. It's just a case of that then.
Possibly the whole show. So
Yeah.
no, so that was the thing. Obviously, I think the big thing we're what to talk about is the ending. The big splashy ending. I was not expecting flying. I certainly,
No.
I was not. But it was a big thing though, because obviously earlier on in the episode, Megan said to Kyle that we don't really want to be around you because he offers his place for them to live, and she's like, "Ah, but you believe this black stuff's inside us, these black monsters, and they leave us, and you've superpowers. So does Amber. You believe this? We can't be around crazy right now." And I was like, it was like, after all the shit you just went through, you're doubting this. But to be fair, she was on the other end of it, where she was like the one being controlled. She wasn't perceiving it necessarily in the same way that
Yes.
we see. So the ending worked really well for us. Oh, great! She gets to witness this. She gets to witness someone being. Because obviously, right from the moment where we can see the chief starting to be possessed, we're like, oh god, no! Like, and
Yeah,
I,
you know what's going on.
and I actually thought that it might happen inside, in front of the entire town.
Oh, kind of almost prove his point.
Yeah, like
Because his whole speech was there, this stuff's there,
yeah.
and we've got to fight it.
I
And
thought,
and no one believed it. But if he'd just done it right there, and everyone would go, oh, he was serious.
and obviously Megan would be the core for us because she's the one we care about, and her believing it is a big thing to us. But the entire town seeing it would completely shift the dynamic. Now that didn't happen. The rest of the town didn't see it. But Megan runs out and she sees him flying in the skies. He's grabbing onto him, and he obviously is trying to get to. Although I was thinking as he was climbing up him when they were like in the air, I was like, shove your hand up his leg, like up his trouser, touch his leg.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fair point.
No, don't get me wrong. He's being stabbed. He's flying midair. He's trying to do this as quickly as possible. His head's not in. He's not thinking about it. He's just trying to get to the open skin at the top. I get it. He's going for the head.
And he has kind of been stabbed a little bit.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I just really want to emphasize that.
Well, that was the thing. So he gets the demon out of him, and they both drop to the ground. And Kyle lands on the school bus, which, by the way, I loved when they first run out there and they're looking for Giles, and it's just like all the school buses at night.
Is it bad? As I saw that and I went, ooh, Corey.
There you go. Yeah, there was a
It
scene.
just really reminded me of it.
Well, it's not a scene like that. It was a scene in a similar location. There was no
Yeah, yeah,
possession
yeah.
and flying.
No,
in
no, no.
Quarry,
Once
but,
that started, obviously Quarry went out of my
Yeah.
mind. But just when they went outside and saw it,
yeah, the whole fight in the school bus when he was trying to like exercise. I was going to say depossess. No, there's a word for this. There's a word for this. Exercise.
oh, you can tell we've tired.
Yeah. But no, what I think is interesting though is that some force was pulling him up. Some force was pulling him out the bus because he's like hanging on to the back of the bus, and Kyle grabs him and they come back, and then he gets pulled out again, and that's when he goes flying all the way up. But all I could think was, oh, why something this didn't happen in the other ones when they first get possessed. This is
Yeah, what's doing
deal.
this? What's different?
The episode did actually quite. Obviously, so we end in the cliffhanger that Kyle's on the top of the bus. Megan realizes his heart, climbs up, and he's like bleeding profusely from the stab wound, as well as dropping to the to the school bus.
It probably hurt.
It probably did. So he's been beat up. So as much as I think it would have been interesting to have Giles be possessed for a while and have to deal with like evil Giles, I am glad it was like a sort of frantic, we have to save him right now, and it was like it made for a great scene.
Yeah, it was the whole now or never.
Yeah, try to deal with him because if he gets away, we don't know if we'll find him again. And
Yeah, I loved how like all the demons obviously knew that as well because they all step in front of him when he goes to follow him
oh
out the
yeah,
back door.
Kyle basically starts throwing punches, and he just like puts his hand in the guy's face, and then he punches someone else. So
Oh,
he's
it's so good.
yeah. The last 10 minutes of this were really ramped up, and
Yeah.
everything had feeling because we cared about Megan finding out because she was doubting that it even happened. And I think she needed that at this point because, don't get me wrong, her scene earlier on when she confronts her foster parents about not doing anything when she was being raped in the house as a teenager, like that scene worked really well. That was really big
Yeah.
stuff. But it was kind of her character's at a point there where okay, if she doesn't believe Kyle, what's her and Holly going to be doing? Like what is their plot from this point on? Do they go off on their own tangent again? And I don't know if that would feel satisfying now because it feels like things we've come to a head. She feels like she's involved. Let's get her into the main plot.
Yeah, and now she's seen all this. That's it. She can join in.
Yeah. Obviously, Alison's out of the hospital as well. She gets away after having a really creepy moment with the long-haired guy that Amber encountered, the creepy
Yes.
guy, and then seeing a kid behind a cell who...
That bit with the kid is one of the bits that I really like the direction because she looks through the glass window and it just cuts into really tight on the window like you're through her eyes, and then it does the same when it goes through the hatch. Really effective.
Yeah, a lot of really cool little stuff like that. And so, but no, he was saying something because both him and the creepy guy were talking about Amber, talking about them coming for them, and about her shining brightly. Making the nickname Firefly being a little bit more meaning something. But we get a lot of mythology stuff in this one because we open with a flashback of Kale's dad with Helen. I think Sydney called her. It was like the Sydney from back then, like the Sydney who was trying to get things going. And apparently he did something too, which weirdly made like Kyle's dad or whoever stronger, but it sped things up. It sped everything else up, and that's what Sydney wants to know. And they have the junkyard guy like in a trap, and the ginger turd Aaron. I've learned his name. It's not Travis. I think I guessed Travis last episode. It's not Travis. It's Aaron. He's itching to kill someone. He eventually kills the mayor because the mayor basically is a demon who goes around Sydney's back and tries to sort of cut him out.
Yeah.
And
It has that. They have a few great scenes actually. Like the one where they talk about how he says, "Oh, we're equals." And it's like, no, we start as equals, but when we merge, we see who's really the big deal.
And it also mentioned how it is partly who you go into that contributes to this. Like you do take some of their qualities. So it implies that he's like building up Aaron to be a good vessel for.
Yeah, he's grooming him to be like in the right frame of mind and have his mind ready for.
Which makes
being
sense
evil,
why
basically.
Sydney's kind of the head honcho right now because he was a serial killer before this.
Yes.
So it makes sense that he is like, if that's what contributes to it, it makes sense that he's the big bad.
Yeah, and it very much seems that is kind of a big overriding factor in their personalities is who they were before.
Yeah. Because even in this one, the mayor insists that he's still him.
Yeah, and I think we've seen that before as well. Like, there's the initial period where they fight, but then it kind of cools down, and they're like, "No, we're the one thing now."
Yeah, so I think it's interesting because like Sydney and that now know there's another outcast, there's another light shining brightly, and I don't know if they're referring to Amber or if they were referring to there's someone else because obviously we get that scene at the Rogue Church, the lighthouse, with the blonde, and it turns out that everyone who goes to this church were people who were possessed because she shows the handprint on her back, and it's building the mythology, and it makes me think, okay, so is there others out there, or is this just hinting that it was Kyle's dad who's out there going around?
Yeah, see, that was what I thought as one of the things, but then obviously when the creepy people are speaking to Alison, they say, "Oh, she shines bright," and Firefly. So I don't know, and Sydney uses that phrase at the end. Someone was shining bright.
Yeah. So
I don't know if there's a link there to be had.
It could just be a case of they've detected that Amber, but they don't actually know for sure that Amber's is her. So they're looking for her, which makes it obviously a bit more personal and high stakes for Kyle now that Amber's maybe more in the spotlight. And given the shining bright line, that's maybe a poor choice of words, but or perfect choice of words because I'm fitting the theme of light. But I like this idea though, the idea that like the Outcast are like this power they have, like they are the light, like they are. Because I think when we hear the word Outcast, you think, oh, they're like something that's been cut out, so they were part of the darkness as well. But
Yeah,
maybe,
outcast. You think of
yeah.
someone being ostracized from society. They're the unusual one. They're looked down on.
We also get a sense that their world, their call it hell, whatever, is deteriorating. Like they all want to leave because it's disappearing, or
Yeah.
it's corrupting, or it's dying, or I mean, I'm going based on a few simple lines of dialogue. We don't really have the information. We have contextual references to it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the sense we get, and it seems like the first people who get outcasted were these beings of light, like this, and it makes me wonder, right? So since it's passing down in Kyle's family, because his dad had it, he's got it, and now Amber's got it. It makes me think, well, maybe Kyle himself is not the outcast, and that the outcast was originally went into someone else. Maybe it was his dad, maybe it was his grandfather. Like, was there someone where the outcast went into, and it's kind of passed down from there? And does it get more powerful as it goes? Because if Amber's shining brighter, if she's like showing to be really powerful, more powerful than Kyle, is it multiplying per generation through life or through? I don't know.
It's like I say, there's really not a lot to go on as of yet.
Because if we're talking about the demons taking part of the personality, and that, oh, if it was a good host, like it was a serial killer in this case, say he's the strongest demon, then does the outcast power get stronger with each new life form because it's bonding, and because it keeps getting more human, it's actually making it more powerful?
I wonder if they're stronger as a child, because
Maybe.
like children are innocent and inherently good. So I wonder if then it amplifies it, and then as they become an adult, a bit more jaded, cynical, whatever, it weakens a little bit.
It could be that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, but no, lots of things to consider. But
There is.
that was going through my head, and it did a lot for the mythology. This episode, I thought it put all these little seeds in. We'd never really heard them talked about, shining brighter or anything like that before. That this was. All different, but they do imply there's others out there, because the mayor does say, because he makes this offer to Kyle, "Oh, we'll leave you alone if you take care of Sydney. We'll make sure that none of us, our kind, disturbs you or your daughter." And he's like, "Yeah, but don't you need us for something? Like, you're actually one of them called it the merge. I did notice that.
Yes,
in the
I
flashback.
think in the flashback they call it the Great Merge.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, it'll set us back, but there's others out there. So it does imply that there is, like, it's not just Kyle's family. There are other distinct examples out there.
I'm assuming as well as that Kyle's father is alive, right? And he's going to pop up probably at the end of the season.
Yeah, they've cast an actor. We've been talking about him a lot. There's been he's definitely dead. So I imagine he has. Oh, by the way, I was eating a sandwich during the opening scene when she bit off her tongue.
Why would you eat a sandwich with this show? That was just stupid.
I was hungry.
But eat the sandwich and then no, that's on you. You know what you're getting into.
I never thought they were going to put the rest of the episode was fine. It was just that one scene. It had to be the first goddamn scene.
But that happens in a lot of episodes. There's just one scene where it's like, oh, wouldn't want to be eating for that. And yeah, that's on you.
It was a cool effect, I'll admit. But
it was, yeah.
But I like the revelation that this church though is all people who were possessed.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
It gives it this real kind of... It gives Kel like an army, almost. Like, when the fight comes, there's maybe this army of people who care enough or invested and believe in what's going on to fight back.
More importantly, we still haven't established if someone can be repossessed, so maybe this is an army of people who are safe.
Ah, yeah, maybe. Maybe they're off limits now to them.
Yeah.
Which, interestingly, would make Giles off limits now.
Yeah, would.
So, yeah. Of course, the mayor's trying to, get rid of him and put, I think it was Offer Nunez
yes.
in his place, because of course she's playing with the home team, as it were.
Yeah.
Well, that'll go through or not, because Giles makes quite a fuss and all the rest of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I imagine the mayor has the final say still in this.
Yeah, but he's dead.
Yeah, but he said it. It's like, surely then it would be up to his successor to undo it.
I don't know who his successor is. Maybe we'll meet his successor next episode.
I guess so.
Maybe Giles is going to speak to him or her and be like, "Hey, that was a stupid idea. Keep me honest, Chief." And then they'll go, "You know what? I agree with you because I'm not a demon." Maybe not in that exact dialogue, but I can see the conversation going like that.
I'd be okay with that.
Or that said, maybe Giles will become a rogue demon hunter.
Can never have too many of those, can we?
No, we can't. He does better than does better than the Reverend, who keeps messing things up left and right.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he got possessed, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but now he's potentially safe.
Yeah, I really hope they do start addressing this because we've been kind of talking about this since the start of the season. Are they safe or not? Yeah, I feel they haven't really tried to question it that much yet.
No, I mean there was that one moment where someone asked the question and they couldn't answer it.
Yeah, but it feels like maybe this is something that they should look into.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But there you go, that's episode 5 of Outcast. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. We did start a Patreon recently, so you can check out patreon.com/MailFuzzTV and see what bonuses are on offer. If you want to help us out and support us, there's a couple of cool extras you can get by doing so. So I would appreciate if you did that. But of course, liking, subscribing, and all that sort of stuff helps us out too. So all of it's appreciated. But so do any of that. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters are on the screen if you want to hear everyday ramblings. But that's us guys. So once again, thanks for watching. Have you got any vanilla?